Well, hello urban farmers. Sorry I've been a little bit I haven't been posting as much, mainly because it's winter here in Australia, in Melbourne, and there's not much happening during winter as far as garden's concerned. I'll give you a little walk around later, but one thing I was doing today is this is the first time that I've grown tomatoes during winter, and yeah, one thing that and that was actually through that hydroponic setup that I had. So I just wanted to give you a bit of a glimpse of what I've been doing today, just to see how I've pruned my plants. Now, this is not necessarily the best way. Basically what happened was that I actually didn't I should have done this a lot earlier. I should have staked the tomatoes up. I basically just, well, I wasn't even thinking that the tomatoes were going to grow. I just thought, you know what, like this thing's not even going to work, so I'm not even going to invest too much time in it. And the other day I came outside and checked it, and there's actually tomatoes on the plant. So I thought, you know what, I might actually try and make something out of this and prune it a little bit, and then stake it up so the tomato plants obviously go up and they're not spread around the floor. And yeah, let's get into it. As you can tell on the floor, there's so much rubbish and off-cutting, so to say. So that's how much I've actually cut. But this is the tomato plant right there. So it's going to be in a little greenhouse. And the greenhouse I had from last year. And it just looks quite, yeah, quite nice. The greenhouse is not anything expensive. It's like a $39 or $49. It's pretty cheap. So yeah, that's how I've made it work. And I just basically just put a few pieces of wood in there, as you can tell, and I didn't have any usually when I tie these tomatoes I like to use cloth ties. I didn't have any cloth ties, so I just used these other ties, which basically got this little metal thing surrounded by plastic. It's not the best. I wouldn't, you know, as you can tell there, you might see some scarring. Now it's okay if the tomatoes are not moving too much. The scarring is probably not going to affect them too much, and it's not going to be moving, so it's not going to be making those wounds any deeper, because there's going to be essentially plastic over this, and it's not really going to get much wind or anything like that. And this is the fruit set, more or less in middle of winter. And as you can tell there, well, not really middle of winter, almost middle of winter. As you can tell that there's actually some fruit there. And I ended up trimming quite a bit of it. Last night we had quite a lot of frost. So some leaves, you'll notice that, say, that one there, will have a little bit of frost damage. Hopefully well, basically I didn't really take too much care of it, so it was left in frost, and I'm hoping that it doesn't die. It doesn't look like it is. Looks like it's still pretty healthy. So, and you can tell there, that is the pots that I have, and they're just, it's called an auto pot system, and this has probably been there for about 2 months probably. I wouldn't say 2.5, probably 2 months, and it's working pretty well so far. And these are some of the offcuts that I had from the plant, which I trimmed. It just turned into a great big bush, and I just had to get rid of some of this stuff. Thank you very much for watching, and so sorry this was a very quick video. I just wanted to give you a bit of an overview of the plants, and hopefully I'll see you in the next episode. I wish to make these a little bit more regular, so hopefully next time we will.